Hello everyone, welcome to today's video, which is about this Portulacaria Afra Bonsai that you can see right here in front of you. This is actually one of my favorite bonsai that I have, simply because it started with a little bonsai I found in a shop on sale because it had some damage. I will show you to the stem right here. So basically part of the stem was missing. I thought I'd bring it back with me, try to nurse it back to life, and 2 years later, here we are, still thriving. A plant I really enjoy that I have now had on my balcony over summer. Now that temperatures are starting to decrease again, especially at night, I have brought it back in because they do not like cold temperatures. So yes, when I brought it in, I basically did what I always do. I inspected the foliage, see how it is faring. Is there something that I have to be concerned about? You see some of the leaves have like so small little dots on it, some blemishes. I have looked into it, I did not find any infestation, and I had this plant now for 2 years. And since then, basically, it's had leaves like this always coming in with some sort of blemishes on them. So I'm not too concerned about that. I also checked the soil, which is doing quite well. I checked the root system, which is also starting to stabilize. When I brought this home, basically it was uprooted, so I had to repot it actually into this pot. Simply because it fell out, I guess, in the shop. They just basically stuffed it back inside there, but not very professionally, so the soil was very loose. Roots that were simply out in the air, not really soil in the pot any longer. So it was really in a bad condition. So the first thing I really did with this is repot it into this simple soil, clay, pebbles mixture, just to give it enough air also in the pot and not have it sit in water too much. Because it is a succulent, so this species is a succulent, which means they can thrive a long time without water. Really, basically in winter, I do not water this plant for 2 to 3 weeks, and actually it enjoys it a lot. The drier this one is, actually the happier it seems. Only when the leaves start to get a bit wrinkly, I give it some water. Then I water it fully, basically, the pot. But other than that, it does quite well without any water or any additional water, basically. The species itself is quite easy to take care of. What you have to keep in mind is, as it is a succulent, it needs a lot of sunlight. Other than that, it is really quite easy to keep. The leaves are, at least on this genus, quite small by themselves. But a little trick that you can use is basically always go in and cut back the leaves, and the newer leaves that will come afterwards would always get smaller and smaller. Basically here you can see some bigger leaves that are growing right now new. Then some older leaves where I have cut them back a lot, and you can see they are way smaller, especially here, basically where I really cut it back to the stem. And the new ones that are coming in are way smaller. Also, what you can see here on these leaves is something that happens when you have them in direct sunlight, that they get this brownish orange rim around the leaves. Simply some slight form of sun stress that you shouldn't be too worried about. Actually, it doesn't harm the plant at all. So yeah, in winter I keep it in a windowsill with a lot of direct sunlight. This one actually normally does not deteriorate in winter, so it doesn't seem too affected by it, especially because it is quite adapted to basically the conditions you have in a house. It does like it rather dry, which normally you have anyway inside your home. And if you give it enough sunlight and don't drown it in water, it should normally also not have a problem during winter. So it's definitely a genus that I can recommend, especially also for bonsai, because it has these small leaves. The bark, basically it looks very barky, this form of Portulacaria afra, almost like corky, to be honest, like almost like a cork-like bark that I really enjoy, and it gives it this old weathered look that I really like. And also it gets a quite nice root system actually, so you can get some very impressive roots also on this one. What I'm trying basically right here is to grow a new stem or a new branch out, basically, because it was broken off when I got it. Basically here you can see the old wound of where the stem was broken off. It got a new growth underneath right now, and I'm trying to basically get this growth to form a new branch, because it does look a bit empty in this space, in my opinion. So I think a second branch route right down here would look good. Other than that, it is a quite fast grower for a succulent. So there's a lot of new growth, especially over summer. And a fast grower really a plant that you can work a lot on, because also the foliage comes back so fast. So defoliation is not a problem with this one. So if you simply want to get your hands on a tree to work on it, this genus is definitely the right one for you. And it is an easy genus, also when you have problems with figuring out a watering schedule in the beginning. So for a beginner, it is probably the ficus variety I would recommend the most, because you can do a lot of damage to it basically simply by learning, and it will forgive you and it will bounce back most of the times. So it's great if you want to get some knowledge, some experience. I do recommend this tree a lot. So if you have any questions concerning this genus or the way I keep it as a bonsai, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will answer them as soon as I see them, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye!